What's up, tribe? Nick here from Ottawa, and in this video I want to unpack the concept of Kaizen. So Kaizen is a Japanese word that means improvement or change for the better. But the philosophy of Kaizen is the belief that constant incremental improvement adds up to significant change over time. And this is a really powerful concept to keep in mind, because when applied to health, or when applied to a beam practice, or when applied to refining your morning routine, when applied to anything that you're trying to work on over time, knowing that the philosophy is constant incremental improvement and not achieving the goal. Like the goal is, your goal might be to improve hip mobility, but the process is really the most important part, right? Because to achieve the goal of improving your hip mobility requires you to adopt a system and use a process in order to make small changes every day to reach your goal. The system is way more important. And so when you look at health, health is really an aspiration. We're aspiring to be healthy. It's not a destination. It's the end result of a lifetime worth of good behaviors, right? And when we look at Kaizen, some people are starting their health journey in a place where they might be overweight, they might have pain or injuries, they might be far from what their concept of health is, of perfect health. And sometimes it can be a bit demotivating or frustrating or seem very daunting to kind of embark on that journey. But when you look at it from the standpoint of Kaizen, if you are seeking to improve your health, all you have to start with is understand that you're ready to change, right? Because you can't improve your health without changing your habits and behaviors. And so when you understand that, then it's about, okay, well, where do I start with improving my behaviors? And a good place to start is prioritize, well, what pillar of health, right? The 5 pillars of health that we talk about are movement, food, sleep, community, and the mind. Which one of those 5 pillars are you struggling most with? And say the pillar you're struggling most with is movement, right? You don't get very much movement in every day. You've got pain in certain joints, or you're missing a lot of mobility. Okay, well, the behavior that I want to start with is doing 1 squat every time I take a pee. That's a really powerful way to upload a squat habit every day, because you're tying it to an anchor behavior, which is going for a pee, which you're going to do several times throughout the day. And going for a pee turns into your regular reminder to do a squat. And your squat might be something where you have to hold on to something like a door or a railing in order to get down into a squat. It might not be very comfortable, it might not be very easy, but it will get significantly easier over time, because those small little snacks, those small little squat snacks you do throughout the day is the constant incremental improvement that adds up to massive change in the long run, okay? So philosophy of Kaizen says that constant incremental improvement is actually the most important thing to keep in mind. And it's a philosophy that takes away your desire or your motivation on the end goal and places the emphasis on the daily process of improvement, right? Trust the process. Trust that if you do small things to improve every single day, you will see massive improvements in the long run. And in fact, that's the only place to start, is with small changes. Okay, so apply the philosophy of Kaizen to your health, to your beam practice, right? Because when you first start to work on a balance beam, it's really hard. Standing on one leg, you might only last a couple seconds. But if every day you show up and do a minute of balance beam work, after a month, after 30 days straight of doing 1 minute of beam work every day, you will see huge improvements. And we don't want you to believe us. We want you to be open-minded enough to try it yourself. And it doesn't have to be a TFC beam. It can be literally a piece of wood on the floor. It can be a line of tape taped on the floor, and just see how well you can walk along that line without your foot coming off of the tape or the beam or the piece of wood, whatever it is. And just trust the process that every day, if you're doing the right things, it's going to add up to massive changes. So apply Kaizen to your health, apply it to your beam practice, apply it to crafting and refining a really powerful morning routine to start each day with the things that matter. Take care of your own health so that you can take care of other people throughout the day. As the software development team for Beam Tribe, we use the philosophy of Kaizen to make sure that we're every day doing something to contribute and to write and to film new content to be of service to the community. So, our approach is that this is a long-term project. We'll be working on the content for years. If some days it just means refilming a video that we now feel we can do better, or creating new content, constantly improving the platform is kind of our mindset. Be the turtle that never stops instead of the hare that goes really fast right out of the gate, but then has to stop because they get burnt out. A lot of people along their health journey get burnt out or frustrated because they're just trying to get to some arbitrary location too quick, and they burn out in their motivation. So apply the philosophy of Kaizen to your life, to your health, to your beam practice, and hopefully that gives you a really good framework to work within on your health journey. Thanks for listening.